Alright, this is going to be the college football predictions for week 6. I'm going to try to talk a little bit about some of these games. There's some pretty good games. So we'll get right into them real quick. I'm in a different spot because I got to use my PlayStation as my sketch on the schedule. But it's kind of hard to see. I'll try to get down maybe. There we go. That'll work. Alright, starting on Thursday, Texas goes to Iowa State. Texas looked a little better in their last game. Their defense looked a little better. I still expect a big win by Texas. Maybe not big. Maybe it's something like, because it is Thursday night game, so it could be something. I say like 34-21, maybe. That's all it's in. Then you got Western Kentucky at Louisiana and Monroe. I'd really like for Monroe to get the win. That'd help use strength of schedule, but I think I'm gonna. That's at Louisiana Monroe. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take Louisiana Monroe. 31-28. And also on Thursday, looks like a pretty good game is UCLA at Utah, which could be a tough matchup. I'm gonna take UCLA winning in the end, 35-21. Let's see here, what else? Friday we got Brigham Young, which BYU at Utah State, which has got a battle of pretty good quarterbacks. It's at Utah State. I think this is where Chucky Keaton makes his mark and gets a big win over BYU. Nevada at San Diego State. I think Nevada wins in a blowout. San Diego State is not what they have been in the past. Air Force at Navy. Supposedly that game's going to be canceled. I would pick Navy to win if they play, but if the shutdown's still going, then I guess it's canceled. I don't know. Louisville at Temple. That'll be a blowout. Louisville will win badly. Temple lost to Idaho last week, which is maybe the worst football team in the country. A really intriguing game that I'm really interested in seeing is number 25 Maryland and number 8 Florida State. I think that I'm going to pick Maryland in that game. Florida State did only win by 14 against Boston College last week, and Maryland's looked really, really good. They blew out West Virginia. They're undefeated. They have Stephon Diggs, great wide receiver, NFL first-round talent wide receiver out there. That's one of my upsets this week. Then you got Texas Tech at Kansas, number 20 Texas Tech. Expect Texas Tech to roll. It'll probably be a close game at halftime, but I expect them to pull away in the third and fourth quarter. Then you got Penn State at Indiana. I expect. Oh, I don't know. Indiana's looked pretty good. They lost to Missouri, though. I think Penn State will win, probably by about 2 touchdowns. Illinois at Nebraska. That's a very intriguing game as well. Illinois looked really good this year. They lost one game to Washington, I believe. And Nebraska got demolished by UCLA, but it's at Nebraska. I think Nebraska wins by a touchdown, something like 34-27. Then we go, let me see, scroll down a little bit. Ball State at Virginia. I expect Virginia to win that game. Eastern Michigan at Buffalo. Buffalo, I think, will win that game. They smashed Connecticut last week, I think. Michigan State at Iowa. I think Michigan wins a low-scoring game. It's a Big Ten game. It's grinded out. I expect it to be like 17-7. Rutgers at SMU. Rutgers will destroy SMU. SMU hasn't won a game in I don't know how many games. It's a ridiculous number. And Rutgers has looked really good besides the opening loss to Fresno State. So Georgia State at Alabama will be embarrassing. Georgia State's probably the worst FCS team. So I mean, that's FCS, so, I mean, just can imagine Alabama could score 100 if they wanted to, probably. Probably 200 if they wanted to. North Carolina at Virginia Tech. North Carolina got demolished last week by, who did they get beat by? It was East Carolina. And at Virginia Tech, who surprised me last week and beat Georgia Tech. So it's at Virginia Tech. I think I'm going to take Virginia Tech. Something like 31-14. Central Michigan at Miami of Ohio. I'm going to take Central Michigan. The Chippewas to beat Miami of Ohio. Then you go South Alabama at Troy. South Alabama put up another close game against Tennessee last week. I'm going to take South Alabama to beat Troy. I'm going to skip a few, though. That's UTSA at Marshall. I'll take Marshall. I don't know. UTSA hasn't looked bad. I think I'm going to take Marshall. It's at Marshall. Ohio at Akron. I expect Ohio, Tettleton, and the Norman kid to keep putting up his big numbers. Beat Akron, a bad team. Florida Atlantic at UAB. I'm going to take UAB. Western Michigan at Toledo. I'll take Toledo. I don't know a score on that. Clemson at Syracuse. I think it'll probably be close for a quarter. Clemson will probably end up winning something like 45-21. Georgia at Tennessee. I don't think it'll be close. Tennessee barely beat South Alabama last week, and Georgia beat LSU. So 55-28. Georgia's defense still a suspect. Georgia Tech at Miami. Now, Georgia Tech's still a good team. Miami's a really good team, though. I expect Miami to win by 3 touchdowns, probably. Hopefully their quarterback's back this week. I seen he got hurt last week, but we'll see. Minnesota at Michigan. I mean, Michigan still hasn't shown me anything, so I still expect it to be close. Probably Michigan wins 21-17 over Minnesota. We got Kansas State at Oklahoma State, which it's at Oklahoma State. I expect Oklahoma State to win that game big, but I expected them to beat West Virginia big, so I don't know anymore. It depends on who they have playing quarterback, I guess. I don't know who their quarterback's going to be. I take Oklahoma State still, something like 45-28. Alright, then we got North Carolina State at Wake Forest. I'm going to take North Carolina State. Wake Forest isn't very good. North Carolina State had a really good chance to beat Clemson. Still kind of confused on the out-of-bounds call, but it happens. So, UMass at Bowling Green. I expect Bowling Green to win that game pretty handily, probably. Rice at Tulsa. I'd like to pick Tulsa, but they're not what they have been in the past, and Rice is a pretty good team. They put up a lot of points on A&M, kept it close for a while. Northern Illinois at Kent State. I'm going to take Northern Illinois. Jordan Lynch to run on Kent State. East Carolina at Middle Tennessee. Now, that's a game some people might want to watch. It's actually not on TV, so you can't watch it. But East Carolina's a really good team. They destroyed North Carolina last week, and Middle Tennessee could put up some points real quick. So, North Texas at Tulane. I'm going to take North Texas. They kept it close to Georgia, so Washington State at Cal. That's interesting. Two decent teams. It's at Cal. I'm going to take Washington State in a 28-17 game. Florida International at Southern. Wait, didn't it say Southern Miss up there a second ago? I could have swore it did. Southern Methodist. It's SMU. Oh, Rutgers is at SMU. Not Southern Methodist. SMU is not the one with the losing streak. It is right here. Florida International at Southern Miss. That's who has the losing streak. I got that confused for a minute. I thought Southern Methodist. I thought it said Southern Miss. Florida International at Southern Miss. They both haven't won a game this year. No, yeah, they both haven't won. And Florida International is terrible. I expect Southern Miss to break their losing streak this week and beat Florida International at home. Then we go UCF at Memphis. I expect UCF to roll. Picked them last week to upset Georgia, and it was or not Georgia, but South Carolina, and it was a close game. Had a chance there at the end, but couldn't get it done. They're still a good team. They beat Memphis pretty handily, probably 45-7. Fresno State at Idaho. Fresno State's going to roll. They're finally ranked number 23. Idaho's terrible. beat Temple by 2, and Temple is terrible. Oregon at Colorado, another game I expect to just be. Oregon can score 100 if they want to, but they'll win it something. Probably they like to put the score up high, so I expect it to be like something like 63-7. Liberty at Old Dominion. I don't know about any of those teams. I've heard. Old Dominion's pretty good, I guess. So I'll go Old Dominion. LSU at Mississippi State. That's a game. LSU coming off a really emotional loss, going to Mississippi State. It's a night game. Got the Cowbells. Got the Mississippi State's not a bad team. That could be a game that LSU could sleep on. They got Florida next week. It's perfect game for an upset, but I think LSU comes out and wins by 2 touchdowns, probably 28-14. TCU at Oklahoma. I'll do a video on that, obviously. Not tonight, probably, but I'll do one tomorrow night, probably. And here's gonna be my upset of the week. I'm going to take Arkansas at Florida and pick Arkansas in the upset. I like the way Arkansas's offense looked last week. They gave up 45 to Manziel, but they did all right. I'm going to pick Arkansas to beat Florida by a score of 17-10. I think Arkansas's defense is going to step up and shut down Florida's offense. Come on now, Arkansas, don't make me look stupid. Their offense did all right. If they can get 21 to 28 points, I think they'll have a great chance to win the game. If they can get 17, I think they have a good chance. I don't think Florida's offense is that great, but they're explosive. So if Arkansas misses a few tackles, it could turn into a blowout. So we'll see. Ole Miss at Auburn. That's a really intriguing game. I think Ole Miss probably wins that game. I don't know. It's at Auburn. I'm going to pick Auburn. I'm going to pick Auburn to win that game. It's back-to-back weeks in Alabama for Ole Miss. I'm going to pick Auburn to win the game. 35-24. Cincinnati at South Florida. Cincinnati rolls. South Florida's terrible. New Mexico State at New Mexico. I'm going to pick New Mexico State. Texas State at Louisiana Lafayette. Louisiana Lafayette's who I'm going to pick. Kentucky at South Carolina. I'm going to take South Carolina. Had a scare last week playing Kentucky at home. 35-21. Then you got Arizona State at Notre Dame. A really intriguing game to me. I'm going to take Arizona State by 2 touchdowns. I really like for Notre Dame to get the win, but I just don't know if it'll happen. Missouri at Vanderbilt. I'm going to take Vanderbilt by 2 touchdowns. Louisiana Tech at UTEP. Louisiana Tech. Ohio State at Northwestern. This is the big game. I'm gonna go with Northwestern. This is what they've been wanting. They've been wanting a big game, a big time win, and this is their chance. So I'm gonna believe in them right now. It's at home, and I'm gonna pick them to beat Ohio State. Plus, we really need that win. Another good game is West Virginia at Baylor. Really like for West Virginia to get the win, make Baylor look not so out of this world. Don't think it'll happen. I think Baylor wins by 3 touchdowns at least. Then you go, ooh, that's a game. That's a good game right there. I didn't even know they put Washington at Stanford. I expect Stanford to win by probably win, then win by 10. But I bet it's a pretty close game throughout. And then you got on Sunday San Jose State at Hawaii. I pick San Jose State. This video ran a little longer than I wanted it to, but I'll get this uploaded, and then I'll do my baseball predictions for tonight. I'll do that tonight, and then I'll do my OU preview tomorrow. My 2, like I said, my 2 upsets are Arkansas winning and who did I also say didn't win? Maryland. So I'm gonna pull for them and see how it turns out. All right, Boomer Sooner.